Inspiration point. The only person responsible for your freedom in life is you. That's one of the things that I'm learning. Yeah, the other day I was in a little coaching conversation with my friend Manda, and she was saying, Dave, I think you should consider what it looks like to have more freedom in your life. And what would that look like? And she's like, yeah, it's not just about freedom, physical freedom, like go anywhere you want, do whatever you want. It's more about mental freedom, emotional freedom. What are the thoughts? What are the beliefs? What are the stories that are holding you back from experiencing true freedom in your life? So today's January 1st. I'm out for a little walk. Get a little of that feel-good walk vibe in the morning. And I'm thinking about freedom. I'm thinking about 2023 and how the thing that I pursued in 2023 was emotional freedom. You may not know this, but 2 years ago this month, I ended a 28-ish year marriage. And somebody said to me this past year, sometimes you got to make the wrong decisions in order to get to the right place. Sometimes you got to make the wrong decision to get to the right place. Now, I'm not encouraging you to make wrong decisions, right? However you would define those. But I do know that sometimes in the midst of making decisions that didn't go the way you thought they would, decisions that ended up hurting a lot of other people, decisions that ended up hurting yourself, well, it gives you the opportunity to course correct and end up in a better place, right? A better place than you used to be. And for me, that encompasses where I land here at the beginning of 2024 is more emotional freedom than I've had before. So what is emotional freedom? Well, it's being able to actually be willing to feel my emotions. So about 15 years ago, kind of had a burnout experience after being in full-time ministry for 10 years. And so I got on a couple of antidepressants in order to help me navigate that situation, that season of life. And I stayed on those two antidepressants and an anti-anxiety medication for 15 years. And a year ago, I guess it would be 14 years, a year ago, a little more than a year ago, year and a half ago, I was like, one of the reasons why I left my marriage is because I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel loved, and I couldn't feel love for others. And so I wanted to feel that emotion. And those medications were deadening my ability to feel emotions. So I decided I got to get off these. I got to get off these in order to feel once again. I got to tell you, I've always felt like emotions were inconvenient. I'm more of a productivity kind of guy, not a feel my emotions kind of guy, right? I want to get stuff done. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to help other people. I want to serve clients. I want to help people experience breakthroughs in their life. Emotions, I ain't got no time for those. But I knew that I needed to start feeling them again in order to experience the fullness of life, and specifically to somehow feel love, be loved, all those things, right? So a little over a year ago, I got off those two antidepressants. I'm still on the anti-anxiety medication that kind of takes the buzz off of life. That I really appreciate that. Helps me stay focused. And man, all of a sudden, in late 2022, early 2023, I started feeling emotions again. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm looking forward to feeling love. I'm looking forward to feeling joy and peace and just, right? 2023. And I started feeling triggered more. More fear, more anxiety, more insecurity than any other year of my life. man, I was just getting triggered left and right. And the place that I was most getting triggered by that was in the relationship with my life partner, my fiance now. And she's an amazing woman, but man, the divine was using her not through any real, fault of her own to kind of poke and prod triggers in me that made me have to go, wow, why am I feeling all these emotions? Why am I feeling all this insecurity? Why am I feeling all this fear? Why am I feeling all this anxiety? Well, got off those meds, and the things that might have been deadened in the past were alive and well. So, one of the things that I pursued this year was emotional freedom, one through traditional therapy. But then I began to feel like, this is so cognitive and I'm so in my head all the time anyway. How do I get out of my head and actually experience something that might be more transformative? And I started hearing about somatic coaching and healing. Now, I had a client previously, Maria, who was a somatic healer and coach. And I thought, oh, that's good. That's good stuff, right? I helped her with some marketing, communications, coaching. But I didn't think about how that might be beneficial for me. So I had previously met a guy named Derek Larson who utilized a technique called the Neo-Emotional Release Therapy. Neo-Emotional Release Therapy. And so I think I've been to about 20 weeks, 20 sessions of his over the last year. And you guys, whoa. All of a sudden, like, not just an ability to feel, but the way that he describes it, and the way that he described it from the beginning, and how I've been now sharing this with people in my life, whether, friends or clients, is that he was helping me build capacity to feel and navigate these emotions. Because oftentimes, if we haven't been feeling emotions, all of a sudden I feel them, it's going to move me toward fight or flight real easily, rather than being able to feel them, allowing them to flow through and go, okay, that was a feeling, right? That was a feeling in the moment. I don't have to make decisions in my life based on this intense feeling that I'm having right now. So I started over the course of this year building capacity to feel different emotions, primarily the negative ones, and allow myself to just feel emotions in general. I have cried more in 2023 than I've cried. I'm gonna say a crazy statement here. I cried more this year, last year, 2023, than I've cried in my entire life previously in 1 year. I mean, just even yesterday, I felt this wave of grief and loss come over me, and I'm just standing there in front of my closet trying to organize something, and I just start bawling. I just start sobbing. And rather than stuffing it down and going, don't feel that, or maybe even I wouldn't have even felt it at all, I would have just gotten busy doing some work or something, I stood there and I allowed it to come, and I had the capacity for it to come. Mandy came over to me, she's like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, grief, loss, pain. And I just allowed it to come. And I felt it, cried. And then, 15, 20 minutes later, it's kind of through me. It's like, okay, I experienced that. I didn't have to move toward fight or flight. I didn't have to move toward a compensating behavior. I didn't have to freak out. I didn't have to, make a decision that wouldn't be helpful for my life. So, the emotional freedom, the second part of that is not only being able to feel it, but the way he's helped me do that is become aware and embrace and cultivate a life force energy inside of me. This fire, this power, this, really, the way I would have probably described it in the past is my true identity. But the true identity isn't just a concept, it's not just a thought, but it's a feeling, it's a resonance, it's this life force energy inside, the thing that makes me be able to navigate life, make decisions, set boundaries, have intention, have dreams, hopes, this fire. And I will tell you, and I will go into this in subsequent sessions, videos here with you. Is it okay we keep talking throughout the year? I hope it's okay. Is that I always thought I had to develop a sense of self-love and self-worth through the ooey gooey feelings of like, I feel so good about myself, versus I had this new emotional freedom that once I understood this life force energy inside of me, this fire, this passion, this right, that the divine put inside of me, it's my divine spark, that all of a sudden I started going, I do have self-worth. I am worthy of loving myself, worthy of the love of others, worthy of the love of the divine, because the divine, right? The divine just loves me because it's like, put this fire inside me. Anyway, there you go. January 1st, we're taking a walk together. So emotional freedom, the only person responsible for your freedom in life is you. And what does it look like for you to cultivate that freedom this year? I am looking to cultivate that myself. Hey, by the way, Mandy and I have this amazing project called Activate Your Abundance. And if you want to follow us over on Instagram, it's Abundance Activators. All one word, Abundance Activators. And later this month, we're going to be releasing a 4-part video series called The Magic of Gratitude. Gratitude's the first step to activating abundance in your life. So fun. That project's going to be amazing. So check it out. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here for you. Love you guys.